My name is Jeff, and I'm here to try and get enough money to change the world. Okay, what I'm going to propose is a way to store energy for later use that's clean. After it's been processed into the battery, it'll be clean working and biodegradable when it's done. Basically, it's rubber. I was going to introduce a way to run all our electric motors in our houses, such as washing machines, refrigerators, and air conditioners and the like, with rubber bands. It sounds ridiculous, but it's simple and it's easy. I'll be going to the board in a moment, and I'll give you the ABCs of how simple it really is to change our world. And it starts with a big rubber band. You fold it up, wind it up, and stick it anywhere inside the walls of your house or anything like that, and collect clean energy to charge it with rather than use dirty energy. And over time, not very fast, nothing can even happen for 5 to 10 years except for development. In the meantime, we could be growing the rubber necessary to fulfill the needs. But first we'll need a working model to prove to the world that this is worth pursuing. So my goal today is to get enough research money to show the actuality of what I can do. So we'll be going to the board. Hello. Now the ABCs of how to change things. Activators. Activators are the device's power source for when they're being used. The activator would be installed somewhere attached to the device, such as a refrigerator or washing machine, and they would be supplied by the balancer, which I'll draw next. But activators are inside each device, and the next part will be balancers. Okay, these are balancers. They'd be in the wall. It'd be a series of rubber bands, huge, big, fat rubber bands, big enough to do the job, in series or built up any way they need to be to produce enough energy to keep the activators charged while they're doing their job at the same torque and speed. So that is the reason for the balancer. Without the balancer, this couldn't work. So the balancer is needed to use the energy being inputted from the collector, which will be the next thing I draw, and that's to store enough energy to keep the walls balanced to run everything that we're wanting to run. We've got to have the three-way redundancy system to make it work. This is the A, B, and C will be next, and that could be put anywhere. You could put it inside a wall. You could actually have it on a grid system, so a big place could supply a small community. And that would be using all the solar and wind and water and exercise to keep them charged. So I'm going to erase this, and I'll put the collector on there, and you'll understand. collectors. They'd be collecting free energy or exercise energy, such as pedaling or weightlifting or anything, and be using that energy to charge the main collector. If it's a grid system, this wouldn't be involved with that. That would be somewhere else. But all this stuff could be put on a single unit. The house that you're in could have all this stuff needed to charge the battery. And if they wanted to put it on a grid system so you pay for use, then that could be done too. But that's all in the future. That all can change. This is the ABCs, A, B, and C, just to show that this can work. Any mathematician or any kid that's ever wound up a rubber band airplane will know that this is a possibility. It just takes money. I don't know how much, but I've tried to do it on my own and it's cost too much. So what I'm doing is asking for funds to set up a research and development station, place with equipment, people, and stuff to make this occur. Just mostly for a demonstration as far as a prototype. I want to make a full-size prototype to demonstrate to all of us that this can be something we can change to. So this is how the ABCs of it works. It's the simplest way I could show you that you could understand that this has great potential. So that's my idea. I'm willing to work as hard as I can to make this occur. One other thing is I have a design for a dense collector which would be put in to an automobile or a vehicle of some sort to move people, eventually taking fossil fuels out of the loop. This reason for this is to take nuclear power and coal generation off the grid. If we can get that stuff, since we are already switching over to solar and wind, that's a given. These two things are necessary for this. So these are already in the works. This is just the next step that we need to take to get away from nuclear power. I'm giving us a way out. Help fund me. We can get back on track with planet Earth. Eventually, sustainability. That's the goal of what I'm trying to introduce here. Sustainability. That's with the planet Earth. Us and Earth, we're the same. We need to stay together. This is for future generations. There's no profit to be made for 5 to 10 years. No profit here. So I can't really use an investor that I can say give money, that they'll be making money right away. I'm just proving a concept. I'm ready if you're ready. Fund me.